Hey folks, hi, Elaine Marolakos Edelson with AstrologyMojo. I want to help you get your mojo back. We are going to be talking about a couple of pairings this month, astrologically speaking, in the month of February. And so a little bit before we get started, and that is if you're new to astrology, or if you're new to me, what I say is that the planets don't make you do anything, that we live in a cooperation with the cosmos. So when the planets make a move, you feel it. When you make a move, it's reflected by way of aspects and angles in a chart. Really, it's only the planets are only reflective of your choices because you are empowered. You're the empowered one. Be that. Be that. Be that as it may. We're going to be, let me just show you what we got going on here. Okay, so come say hello to me. And we are going to be looking at Mercury conjunct Pluto, what that means, Venus conjunct Neptune, what that means, and the Sun conjunct Saturn, what that means, all this month. In fact, all within the next 10 days. If you're watching this in a replay, I'm playing with my universal law cards. If you're watching this in a replay, some of the information will apply. And of course, the time-specific stuff will not apply. But I like to give evergreen information so that you understand that you are the empowered one. You are the one making the choices. You are the one who can change and transform. So come say hello to me. Let's start with... I'm going to start with today. Okay, wait. There we are. Today, February 9th, Mercury is at 27 degrees of Capricorn. And in astrology, when we look at a transit, which is where everything is right now in the heavens, if we were to look up, we go, oh, look, there's Mercury. It's in the constellation of Capricorn. It's at 27 degrees from the perspective of the Earth, and it's moving toward Pluto in that direction, also at 28 degrees. So by the 10th of February, that is tomorrow, if you're watching this on a replay, it already happened. And it was back then. But in the future, so that you know, when Mercury, the planet that represents how you communicate, is within 8 degrees on either side of Pluto. So look in your charts. If you know where Capricorn is in your chart, let me just scoot over here. Okay, if you know where Capricorn is in your charts, and Pluto is at 28 degrees before it makes its long 4 or 5 month haul into Aquarius. For a taste of that, we're going to talk about that next week. Pluto represents the part of you that is your core power, the fears that you keep on the unconscious level that you don't want to deal with or look at. It is the shore of your unconscious self, which is basically your conscious self, just you're not paying attention to it. And Mercury, and Pluto is TNT for the psyche. So when Mercury, the planet that represents communication, when I say communication, 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times, if we could find half people, 9.5 times out of 10, people will say, oh, communication means when you open your mouth and you talk. No. Communication starts with the synapses in your brain. And those synapses come from your belief system, your environment, epigenetics, and what you believe is true, your perception of a situation. Everything is information. Every single thing carries information. What do you choose to do with that information? How do you choose to absorb that information? What frequency does that information travel at? Does it match your vibration? Because that's how we get it together, folks. If you keep attracting the same kind of thing into your world, you need to change your vibe. And to change your vibe, you need to stop the old patterns. And to stop the old patterns, it's important that you become as present as possible in as many moments as possible, and stop attributing that to, oh, they're just not smart enough, or I'm not smart enough, or the not enoughs, or yeah, they don't get me, or they don't understand. You know what? They are going to do what they do. Let's just be concerned with what you're doing and look in the mirror. Okay. So that when Mercury, your style of perception and communication, is in the sign of Capricorn, it tells me a story about the people of Earth. Greetings, citizens of Earth. Hey, May's here. Hi, May. Come join me. Say hello. And so, Mercury in Capricorn wants to plan for the future. Is very pragmatic. Can also be a victim and can start obsessing about stuff over and over, especially when we are within 8 degrees of Pluto. Pluto, the core, the fear, obsession, the downside of every energy, the negative version of every energy. Communication can be, I perceive life as beautiful. I think it was Einstein who said, I choose to believe in a supportive universe. So do I, Al. Okay. So, but if you choose not to and you go, oh, yeah, it never happens for me, or I never get what I want, or, if you're a victim, if you're resonating victim frequency, then when it conjuncts with Pluto, boom, pow, what are you going to attract? What information will you bring to you? What matter will you create from Mercury conjunct Pluto? Now, Mercury's been conjunct Pluto because it's, as we can see, it's 27 degrees, but when it was 20 degrees and when it will be and when it will all the way up to 5 degrees of when Mercury is 5 degrees of Aquarius, hang on, stop. I have my little thing. Stop when Mercury is 5 degrees of Aquarii. When will that be? So today, February 9th through February 14th. Reset. So February 9th through February 14th, Mercury will be conjunct Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. It peaks on the 10th. And when it peaks, it means you are ready to let go of the burdens or the responsibilities that are not yours of the past. What you thought, what you perceived as your job, it's not. And you have that realization now. And you're saying, I did the best I could do. Now I'm going to roll up my sleeves and go do what I want to do. And if you get stuck in that place of, I don't know how to make this work, that's when the Pluto energy, Pluto, again, core of your unconscious self, your fears, but it's also your power. It's not giving you power. You're the one with the power. It represents, Pluto represents how you communicate to yourself on every level. What do you perceive? Do you perceive that you are in trouble? Do you perceive that you're going to get your needs met? Do you perceive that you're going to get that link you need to get to the doctor's office, but they haven't responded? Trust. I trust you, Jack. Titanic. Trust that your needs will be met. Then you're going to change your vibration from the inside out, and then suddenly it'll come to you. I did this the other day when I was waiting for someone to call me back so I could reschedule something else. And I was like, okay. And I did everything I could. And I stopped and went, I did everything I could. My higher inner being already knows what I need. It's going to work. It's fine. It's all good. And I meant it and I felt it and I moved on to other things. And then the day before I had to have an appointment, I got the phone call, not an email. I got a phone call and said, yes, we got your information last week and we just want to follow up. And I was like, great, thanks. I was expecting your call. So let's expect. I used to say, don't have any expectations. Well, you know what? I'm going to modify that. I want you to expect that you are going to create from your highest, best interest, your highest self. Okay, let's do that. So when Mercury conjuncts with Pluto, exact degree, 28 degrees tomorrow, unless you're watching this on a replay, it already happened, but any conjunction between Mercury and Pluto in any sign is going to represent, what do you really think about that? And what are your perceptions bringing to you? What's the vibration coming to you? So if you're ready for that jump into freedom land and that wonderful ride, to a new perception, a new way of being, now is the time you just pull up your bootstraps and go, yeah, of course. How could it be otherwise? How could it be otherwise? I'm faced with doing a lot of travel in the coming year, and in the past, I have not traveled well. So to not project that onto the future, I say with each one, let me just feel it out. Let me see, do I need a day flight, an afternoon flight on this day, a night flight? No. Um, so as I vibe it out, I look for the feeling, and the feeling is my it calculates my actions. So then I know I won't add stress to myself, or I won't put myself in a situation where I produce worry or that feeling of victim. So I want you to do the same. If you are handed an opportunity to do something you haven't done before, or you haven't done fully before, maybe I remember when I segued from doing work in person to on the phone many years ago. And I was like, nobody's coming. We moved from one coast to the next coast, and I set up my business. I let everybody know I was open for business, and nobody showed. But then I got a phone call during a Pluto Mercury aspect. And I got a phone call, and it was, hi, my name's so and so. My cousin said you were fabulous, and I don't live near you. Is this possible to do over the phone? And I thought, sure, I'll take notes and I will send them to you. And then immediately I got set up with a tape recorder. That's how long ago that was. So, then I was like, oh, I just turned a corner. I didn't think I was going to be doing this. I didn't think I knew how to do this. And my husband said to me, Radio Shack. You plug it into the phone, into the tape recorder, you record what you're doing, you send it to them. And then, of course, we went digital, so I'm always turning that corner. So now I look at, oh, I'm turning another corner. So what corner are you turning with Mercury conjunct Pluto in Capricorn? Okay, then on February 15th, now remember, these are the exact dates. They've already been coming up into a conjunction and then will continue as the planets, do their thing and move around each other. So, but exact date, it's happening all month, okay? All month. But the exact dates to be aware of, to say, oh, what am I attracting on these days? February 10th is Mercury conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. February 15th, Venus, is conjunct Neptune in Pisces. Ooh, dreamy, magical, mystical. I'm going to get lost in love. I'm going to watch like every, I don't know, Jane Austen movie or read all those, anything I can watch, in a time period that is magical or mystical, or right now, when Venus, which represents the part of you that cares about aesthetics, beauty, complexion, sensuality, finances, protection. It can be the law. Hey, Debbie's here. It can be the law. It can deal with the military, believe it or not. Venus is like the military. I thought that was Mars. I thought that was Pluto. I thought that was like, boots on the ground. Well, Venus also relates to protection. And protection can be, I think I want to become a police officer, or I want to become a traffic cop, or I want to do this thing, or I need the assistance of someone, an attorney. Maybe I need to consult with a lawyer regarding some new business practices or policies I have. So with Venus and Pisces, we're looking at a softer, dreamier, more romantic or romanticized version of something. And that can be, I think I want to do some artwork because that's really going to help me to feel better. Venus guides Taurus and Libra, and they like to feel comfortable. Right. So, what is it that can help you feel magical, mystical? Maybe you're going to start meditating more. And when we have Venus conjuncting Neptune, Neptune represents certain types of medicine. Vibrational healing would be Uranus as well. But are you over medicated? Do you need medication? Is it really medication? Maybe it's herbs. Maybe you need to research a different avenue of healing. When Neptune which is in a natural placement. It's in the sign of Pisces because Neptune is the planet that guides Pisces, the sign of Pisces. Natural placement, that's what that means. And then we conjunct with Venus. It's, I am dreaming about something in the future. And in manifesting practices, when you enter the quantum field without your ego, you just get into a meditation and you go. And you're still connected to your body, but you go into the quantum field and you feel that energy. What's the information? What's the vibration that you're carrying to you? I can't do it. I don't think so. It's more like, oh, I didn't know that was possible. I'm so excited. I can't wait. And it may lend itself to watching more magical, mystical type movies or those types of books that inspire you. You might be thinking of ayahuasca. You might be thinking of, do I do psilocybin that's guided with a therapist? How do I want to promote my next level of healing? And it could be through art, through film, fashion, photography, my vision. Maybe it's your actual eyes. You might need a new prescription. Right. So, and then you go for something that's tinted and you go, oh, that's aesthetically pleasing because it matches all my clothes. So, on whatever level, we're not judging it, whatever level you want to be able to apply this new sensation that comes your way. Remember, we're coupling it with first, it is Pluto conjunct Mercury. And if you're just joining us, it's not because the planets are doing anything to you, it's because you're ready to really release something from the past and open up to the possibilities of, I can do more. I'm ready to do something different. I feel like I've worked really hard to get here and I'm ready for the next steps. And so that might involve your perception has to change from, oh no, this is what that has been all my life. Well, okay, maybe it can change. Because if you get stuck in one way of thinking, that's what Mercury represents in Capricorn. One way of thinking, it's like, no, if I don't have this position, then they don't see me as the authority, then I, or maybe you kowtow or have kowtowed to authority all your life. It's like, well, the doctor knows best, the judge knows best, the elder knows best, the priest knows best, the father knows best. Father knows best. I used to love that show when I was a kid. Robert Young. Okay. So then we go from perception and removing the fears to that place of freedom. What's going to free you right now? What action is going to free you? What information is going to come your way that's going to tap on you and go, you used to think that, but have you changed your mind yet? Because we're ready to go. And we want to take you. The universe is going to go on with or without you. You might as well, flow with the go. And that's where Neptune and Venus come in and say, it could be a little bit more magical than what you think. It could be a little bit more healing than what you think. How about sound healing? How about you decide to redecorate or purge? Pluto is a purge. So when we start to add the layers of these definitions and meanings, when we see, oh, Pluto, Mercury, it's like, I'm looking around. Yeah, I got to do something with this desk, with this office. But, I am actually finally have started working on redoing my website. So I sat down, got to business 2 days ago, and it was like, okay, this page has to go. This needs to be updated. This has to go. So it's very practical information. And some things are a purge. I'm going to throw that out. No, that doesn't work anymore. Nope, that's not me anymore. These pictures got to go. I got to put in something new. And so then we move into, and here is Neptune, right? The Neptune energy, Venus and Neptune in Pisces. Here it comes at now. What's aesthetically pleasing? Well, if I'm going to take this off of my website with the new information, I want to add something else. Maybe it's a trim, a border, a graphic, an image, right? So that as you start to combine this information, where is Neptune? There's Neptune, there's Venus, both in Pisces by the 15th of February. And then let's see when it ends. By the 15th, we are conjunct at the same degree. So let's see when Venus, welcome. Hey, hi, Tiffany. I love your last name. Okay. Is conjunct Neptune. There we go. What? It moved 24 degrees. So I can't put my finger on top of the image, but when Neptune is conjunct Venus at 24 degrees of Pisces, and that is February 15th. All right. It's going to be moving into that, gets to the 15th. And then let's say Neptune is remember, a conjunction in astrology, if you're a student of astrology, is within 8 degrees on either side. So, but with Neptune, what I have found is that the most potent energy of whatever you're doing shows itself in the first 4 degrees. So it's when Venus is 20 degrees, that's within 4 degrees of Neptune, and then up to 28 degrees. So let's just say, if that makes sense, 28 degrees Pisces. Okay, so February 14th, I'm sorry, 15th through 18th is the most concentrated time when suddenly someone might propose to you. An idea, give you a gift, gives you a massage certificate, something that helps you to feel better, something that helps you to look better. Maybe you get your hair done. And I'm not judging anything that happens. It could be you suddenly have an awareness because of the Pluto Mercury stuff. Not that the planets are doing anything to you, they are not, but you had an awareness. And then you say, oh my gosh, you know what? I need to feel a little bit better. I actually was not feeling good for a couple of days. It was minor. And I thought, what is happening? And I love to research health. That would also be a Pluto. That would also be a Neptune thing, where I thought, I don't know, I burped a lot after I ate, and I thought, am I not digesting fats well? Because I've been studying health for years, so I know that's a gallbladder thing. I've also had a stiff neck here, and my shoulder on my right side was achy. That's a gallbladder referred pain from gallbladder. So I thought, okay, so I bought some Tudca, TUDCA, and it's a bile salt. For those of you who want to know. And it tastes nasty because anything that's sour or bitter helps the liver, the gallbladder, and whatever. So I took a little bit of the powder and mixed it with, okay, and I did it. And wow, if it did not make a difference, then I was able to eat that avocado and that extra olive oil, and I did not have a problem. So, whatever is happening for you for your best and highest good for your healing, it shows up in the charts. And so, when I see Neptune conjunct um, Venus, there's something. If you're, I also write historical fiction fantasy. I know I'm going to be writing this week, not because that's happening, but because I can feel it. Like I'm ready. I cleared aside, I moved aside some stuff. I cleaned out the closets. We started to do a deep clean in the house yesterday. That's the Pluto purge. And I just needed to get stuff out of the way, clean off my desk. And because I know I want to be writing, I'm in the 9th century in Dublin with a queen named Aud. And she was the first first Viking queen of Ireland. And so, as I get into that, I get so excited, like, I can't wait to get there. So I can see myself definitely doing that. Think about what you're doing. What helps you to feel better about who you are and your life and how you look and how you operate, what you ingest, because food is mood. We know this, right? Tell my kid all the time, food is mood. You just get over being sick. And Neptune also reflects a lot of eye, vision things, and mucosa. So if you've been coughing, if you're purging something, take it slow. Help yourself. Be really consistent with what you're doing and how you're doing it. And then, does that make sense? Just let me know. Show of hands, yes. Let me know you're listening, that this is helping you. Let me just take a little sip. Okay, so then we go from February 10th, the exact. It's happening all month, folks. All month, all February. But February 10th is the Pluto conjunct within 8 degrees. It'll be exact degree on the 10th. Mercury in Capricorn. Got to get it done. I'm setting up the structure for something big. I'm ready to move. I'm ready for my freedom. Here comes Aquarius. Pluto in Aquarius is coming. Mercury in Aquarius. It's like, yes, I'm ready for something that makes me feel free, because it's not the planets that are doing it to you. It's you doing it to you. Look at astrology like a lab report. You look at the paper and go, oh, I'm low in vitamin D. Well, it's not the paper that's making you low in vitamin D. It's not the phlebotomist who took your blood. It's you and your choices or your body chemistry. Okay, makes sense? Hey, Lynn's here. Thank you, Debbie. So then we move on to Saturn. and the sun in Aquarius. So I'm just going to reset that. Okay, right now, today, the 9th, the sun is at 26 degrees Aquarius. Wherever the sun is in astrology, it represents the focus. And that focus might be a masculine focus. It's proactive, it's masculine. The light is shining right on you. The moon represents the more it casts a glow. It's a feeling, intuitive, emotional state. The sun is like right in your face and it's in Aquarius. Let's research something. What's going on in politics? What about Bitcoin? I want to know where my money's going. So it's a very I want to learn some science. I'm drawn to astrology. These are all the things that Aquarius encompasses, right? So with the sun in Aquarius at 26 degrees, it's already conjunct Saturn. It's already within 8 degrees. But when we get a solid conjunction, sun is conjunct Saturn. Boop. Where is it? The 16th of February. And then, of course, it'll move out. And when, let's say 27, I have to do this. I still use my hands to count fingers. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. So that would be already 4 to 5 degrees Pisces. When the sun is 4 to 5 degrees Pisces, it'll still be conjunct Saturn. So that's why I say it's all month. We're feeling this energy and we're feeling what we are creating. You're creating every single moment. Don't think you're not. You are. You're that powerful. Oh, by the way, hello. If you don't know me, you are a sentient, eternal, celestial being. You didn't know you were that powerful, did you? Well, that's you. An extension of light. You're pure conscious love. You come to this earth and say, I want to do something with my energy, with my what is that? I want to oh, that's gross. I don't know. So then you taste that and you go, you know what you don't like, you know what you do like. Then you create a reality around it. And if you ever feel like a victim, it's because you've fallen asleep and thinking that your outside world is dictating terms. It's not. It might validate. You're like, oh, I stubbed my toe. It hurts. Okay, that's real, right? That's happening. But you go into the quantum and you future project and say in 5 minutes, though, I'm going to be all better. It's already happening. I feel already better. I feel better over. Oh my gosh. I already moved toward healing and I brought it to me. So that's where you collapse time. That's when you're in the moment. That's when you say, it has hurt to be with this person or in that job or in this city or in my body or in my mind, but I'm moving toward wellness in every single moment because the stars align in here. And then it's reflected out there. Everything's in a beautiful momentum and there's just a harmony about it. And that's what Venus is also, harmony. You can sense that even more. So let's move on to Saturn. I digressed. Saturn and conjuncting the sun. The sun in your face, masculine energy, proactive. And Saturn represents that. But here's what's interesting. Saturn is what guides Capricorn. So, there's a double emphasis on who's the boss of me? Who's the boss of you? They are? No, you are. You're the boss of you. And there's no need to go to an extreme to prove it, with like, no, it's just like, oh, yeah, I don't think I want to do that. Yeah, I'm going to go over here and do my thing. And so with Saturn in the sign of Aquarius, it's the feeling of, I don't want to gamble, but I'm not going to throw caution to the wind, but I want to move differently. I want to feel solid, strong, powerful when I walk down the street, when I ask for my needs to be met in a calm, healthy, almost playful voice, like instead of, but I never, no. How about we mature with Saturn? And we mature with Saturn and Aquarius into a place of saying, remember the light's on us with the sun and Aquarius. And we say, oh, yeah, I know something about that, but tell me more. I'd like to know more. This way you don't feel like, oh, I don't know anything. I'm not good enough. No. Or they're looking for a leader and you're looking to see who they're going to pick, and all eyes are on you. And you're like, oh, okay. Take a nice deep breath. Great. Here are my ideas, because you know you have them. Don't deny that. The negative side, the mundane side of Saturn is denial. So we don't want to deny our power. We want to know that if someone is asking you for something and they start to pile on your desk file after file of, yeah, so-and-so's out sick, or they got COVID, or their mother passed away and they need to fly to Kansas to get to the funeral. Can you please take on the extra load? And in the past, you might have said, no problem. And then you don't sleep, and then, you don't get paid extra for it, and you might get a thank you, right? But now you've moved up your energy. You've elevated your conscious awareness to say, I can do these two things, but I already had plans. I don't want to leave you in the lurch or anything, but can we hire someone else? Can we hire out? Because you're setting a healthy boundary, Saturn, in Aquarius, staying open and free, that it's not exactly laughing, but it's a lighter vibe with authority. Does that make sense? A lighter vibe with authority. So when the Sun and Saturn conjunct on February 16th, and remember, it's all month for all of this stuff, but the exact dates, the 10th, the 15th, the 16th, you're going to feel like, I have no more energy to give to that, to them, to this negative feeling in me. Because this is where it all starts. Body, mind, spirit. Whatever frequency you're putting out with your thoughts and your emotions, whatever frequency you put out is what you pull back to you. That's how energy works. And so if you're ready to move to that next place, the Sun highlighting an adventure. Here comes an adventure in Saturn. All right, I'm going to get serious about it, because it's not going to be just like wishing anymore. It's going to be, all right, because what we have involved here is Capricorn, Pisces, and Aquarius. It's not about wishing or dreaming, but that brings it into being. And then comes Capricorn. Well, let's plan it. And then comes the Aquarius vibe, and that's, how do I envision that? And what can I do while I'm there? If you're going on a business trip, incorporate play. If you're going on a play vacation and you can actually get some business done, then what you can do is put some of that tab on your taxes, right? Venus, Aquarius energy. And you can say, oh yeah, I can meet a client while I'm out of town and write off that dinner. Because you met the client, you had some business talk, and now you're going to go play. So there's nothing wrong with that. If you did that every day, all the time, that might look like cheating. That's the negative vibe of things. Or it looks like guilt, like, oh, I can't do that. Well, yeah, you can. Or if you're going to do work out of town and you got to see some clients, and, for whatever reason, you can say, I'm coming into town, and let's set up a thing. So this way, part of your trip and your expenses are paid for, and then you go out and you have fun. But you combine the two, if that makes sense. Hey, Lanier. Hello, everyone. Hello. So with the Sun conjunct Saturn, it's time. You just kind of like, you might want to put your hands on your hips just to assume the pose, but only in your mind. If you're standing in front of people, they're going to wonder, what did I do wrong? Why is she looking at us like that? No, you're assuming the pose of the authority. The authority with vision, scope, compassion, nurturing, but also a solid yes, I could use your help. And it's not random. It's not like I could use your help next year. It's before 7 days are up, or tomorrow at 3. Are you in? Great. So this way you work with other people, and they're going to be working with you. And the ones that are not, whether it's a relationship, a business thing, a health thing, if you're not vibing the same frequency, they're going to go that way. No judgments. Not like, what the heck happened to them? They're so lazy, or why didn't they call me? They could have been responsible. No, we're not going to go backwards, because the victim can become the perpetrator. That's when the pendulum swings to extremes. No extremes. No, no. It's like, oh, I called that office to get an appointment. They didn't call me back. I'm going to call somebody else. That's it. There's nothing else. There's nothing else to say. Does that make sense? Because the moment you start judging someone else is the moment you go right back to the extremes. That's the three-dimensional reality, victim, perpetrator. Does this make sense? And you're moving into fourth dimension, which is, I have a conscience. I can create positive matter, which brings back to me, the mind puts it out into the ethers, out into the zone, out into the quantum field. And then it starts to come back to you if your heart is open and you're ready to receive it, and you allow it. That's a Venus vibe. When you allow it, that you meditate at all or listen to different sounds, songs, music, frequencies, tuning forks. That's Aquarius. And then Saturn's like, all right, let's put it all together and make a picture out of it. Then we could do something with it and maybe make some money. That's Capricorn. Or maybe we can serve a populace, but never at the sake of ourselves. Maybe we can give to someone. Maybe we can up our own vibe for the sake of upping our own vibe. No guilt. The lights have just come on. The wicked witch, ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. Oh, I pulled a card from my happy deck, the Universal Law of Attraction, of conscious creation, and it is awareness. That's all it is, folks. Nice deep breath. Look at that matrix. That is, in fact, let me get rid of this. Does this make sense? Because this vibe this month is like an opportunity for you. Oh, I didn't even get to that one. I just saw it. All right, it's passing, but it's there. And that is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's exactly within 8 degrees. But Uranus represents, okay, here's what I love. Uranus guides Aquarius. Uranus and Taurus is guided by Venus. And so all of this comes down to, I'm ready to step through a door with purpose, security, the feeling of authority and power, without judging anyone else for not being me, for not serving me, for not knowing what I needed when I needed it, for knowing it and ignoring me anyway, for taking from me when I gave it to them without boundaries. Do you see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going? Yeah. So we could talk more about this if you choose to have a 45-minute reset reading. The link, I'm going to post another one, but I put it in the description. All throughout the month of February, I think there's like 6 or 7 spots left, but you can get a reset reading with me and help you. We look at one issue, and one issue is always attached to many issues, so it's not just one thing, but help you work that out so that you can walk away feeling more empowered. Tools that you can use, neuroscience tools that you can use to help you move forward in the direction that I'm talking about, with that feeling of empowerment, and that I am here to create. Let me just get rid of that. I am here to create a world, a future, a moment that can last a lifetime or lifetimes. You know what I like to say, my husband, Dean, love of my lifetimes, because we have chosen to go around another block in the future. And you can do that. This is all up to you. That's why I'm leaving it up to you. I'm going to pull one more card before I get going on my day, and I will be back on the 16th. And we're going to talk about Pluto entering Aquarius and what that means for you, especially if you're someone who has a lot of Aquarius in your chart. And having just come out of a core transformational 14 years, I can tell you that what I did was because I was willing. And because when I reached my pinnacle of transformation for this leg of the journey, I had zero fear, because I have a belief in everything beyond. that is supportive. And there's nothing, people will talk about dark forces, star seeds and aliens. If you choose to believe in dark forces, you can gird your loins from here till then. You're only going to attract something that doesn't feel good. So, like Einstein, as I said in the beginning, I choose to believe in a benevolent universe. You? Oh, this one came out twice already. Okay. Present moment. What are we talking about? Being aware in the present. Being aware in the present. Because you could be any one of these shapes, colors, vibrations that move in and around itself and back again. There and back again. A hobbit's tale. All right, one more card to get us going. And please share, like, subscribe, and remember that you are powerful. What do you want to do with that today? Or maybe nothing. Maybe you just gaze out the window. That's powerful. You're utilizing that Venus-Neptune vibe in Pisces of just seeing the beauty and the harmony and everything. And if you resonate that frequency, that's what you will bring to you. If you want to do business, you've got that vibe going as well. Sometimes we think that what is happening right now is always going to happen. It's like, oh my God, it's never going to end. Okay, really? Well, that's going to be a long time. Never is a long time. How about this is what's happening right now, but I'm moving toward, and you pick something a little bit more, a lot more, definitely more celestial. And it all comes down to what you believe. I believe you can do it. Do you? Thank you for being here, folks. Thank you for being, as always, I wish you peace. And I will see you next time.